Yeah. We got 2 questions in the okay? Let's do. That's yours. Yes, second question. What is Al-Qiyamah?
The life after death.
The life after death, correct.
Correct. Allah Akbar. You need to encourage her. Encourage them, please.
Mariam. Yes. So it's 4 points. She got 2.
Surah, 2 points.
30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds.
You have only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Next one.
What is referred to Kitab in the Quran? What is referred to Kitab in the Quran? Second question. What is Hajj? Come on, say it.
It's what you have to do when you're Muslim, if you have enough money. It's holy pilgrimage.
What?
It's a holy.
Speak out. Use your mic.
It's a holy pilgrimage that you have to do, and it's one of the 5.
Time up.
Yeah, anyway, she's right. It's the pilgrimage. Yeah, it's one of the 5 pillars of Islam. So we can give her, yeah.
Say Allah Akbar for her.
Who was the first prophet?
Adam.
Second question. What did Allah teach the prophet Adam alayhi salatu wasalam?
He teaches him the nature.
Yes, he taught Prophet Adam alayhi salatu the natures of things, correct?
Say Allah Akbar. 4. That is
Aisha Badmo, what is the meaning of Al-Fatiha?
The merciful.
Wrong. Second question.
Wrong.
Who are entitled to alms?
The ladies, the balls.
Who are those people that are entitled to the money?
Charity?
Who are those people?
Charity.
People
Time
who
up.
are entitled to their charity.
Time up, please. Time up. 0. Aisha. Surah.
Which prophet was swallowed by the big
Quiet.
fish? Prophet Yunus, correct. What are jinn made of? The jinn. What are the smokeless fire, correct?
Who is that? Surah, correct. 4. Surah 4.
Name the 3rd surah of the Holy Quran. Pardon? Second, which angel is known as Malik al-Maut? Come on, speak.
The angel of death.
The angel of correct. 2. 2 points.
Mariam, 2.
What is tilawa? When we say tilawa, what does that mean? Second question. Can an adopted son of a man become his real son?
Nope.
No.
Yes, correct. 2 points.
2. Aisha Badmus.
For how many years did Prophet Noah or Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam preach to his people? How many years? Second question. Where was the Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam born? Where was he born? Jerusalem, in Bethlehem, correct.
Correct. Aisha 2.2.
In which language has the Quran been revealed? In Arabic. What was the name of the wife of Pharaoh or Pharaoh? Asia. Asia, Queen Asia, correct. 4 points.
4 points, Surah. Maryam Wahab.
Which surah is recited in every prayer? Second question. Who brought the revelation to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? 4 points.
Allahu Akbar. Maryam Wahab.
Which is the last surah of the Quran?
Surah Nas.
What does fasting teach us?
How Prophet Isa.
I mean the fast in Ramadan. When you fast in Ramadan, what does it teach you? You do fast. What does it teach you? Is it to starve yourself?
Hey, boy.
2 points, Umu Alaya. Aisha Badmas.
Who built the Kaaba? Who built the Kaaba? No, second question. Which surah is considered to be revealed twice?
Time out.
Zero surah. What is each verse of the surah called? Each verse of the surah called. What is each verse of the surah called?
Ayah.
Correct. Which prophet spoke with the people when he was merely an infant?
Prophet Isa.
Alayhi salatu wasalam. Correct. Surah. Where?
Surah.
How many juz'u or paragraph is the Quran divided into?
4.
Yes, juz'u. Wrong. Second question. From what has Allah created all creation? From what? How did Allah create creation? What did He use in creating all? It's water. Allah created nature from the water. Which surah is described by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the heart of the Quran?
The heart of the Quran.
All right, second question. Who is known as Kalim Allah, or the one with whom Allah spoke to? Who did Allah spoke to? Okay, zero for Umu, Aisha Padmos. In which surah of the Quran is Ayatul Kursi?
Yo.
The second one, how many springs burst forth when the prophet Musa used his staff? You know, how many? Silence.
12.
Yes, correct. 2 points. How were the prophet Isha and Ismail related?
Prophets.
Who brought Allah revelation to all prophets?
Angel Gabriel.
Blasting.
What is the hereafter?
Get life for life. Life for
Yes, correct. What is zakah?
charity.
Correct, 4 points. What is the meaning of al-buruj? What is the meaning of al-buruj? Who can tell me the meaning of al-buruj? 50 pounds for you. Because Surah al-Buruj. Surah al-Buruj. Can I start with that one? Yes, because Surah al-Buruj, please. When you are reading Surah, please try to know the meaning of the Surah, please. Yes? And that you are Surah al-Buruj. Brother Abdul Razak, what's the meaning of al-Buruj? Because Surah al-Buruj. Yes, Ustaz. Yes, who can tell me? 5 pounds. 10 pounds. Not you. Who can see? Al-Buruj. It's a bonus, 10 pounds. If you know it, I give it to the meaning of Al-Buruj. If I say it, everybody is going to give me 5 pounds. The meaning of Al-Buruj is the big stars. The big star, Al-Buruj. We got Surah al-Buruj. It tells you about the star, the creation of things. From which bird did the son of Adam learn how to dispose of the dead body? Which son? Yeah. Which bird? Which bird? Pardon? Okay. From which bird did a son of the prophet Adam learn how to dispose of the dead body? Pardon? Yes? Hey, I will know it. Not you. Mrs. Badmus? It's called raving. Hey, come here, Tony, and show why. He taught us what you be. It's called raving. Hey, baby Bonnie. Hello, money Yoba. Next. 0. Aisha, hurry up. Alright. How many brothers did the prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam have? How many brothers? Huh? Correct. Second question. Into how many tribes did Allah divide the children of Israel? When you use the staff, pardon? Correct.
I already done that.
Yes, it's a bonus for her. Who was Ajah? The name of your mom.
Wife of Ibrahim.
Alayhi salatu wasalam, correct. Which of the beautiful names of Allah signify the merciful? Pardon? Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahim.
Sallu ala nabil karim. Sallu ala nabil karim. Ìlú tí ó bá ti ló tí ó bá sófin kò ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ òfin wà. Ẹjọ́ torí ti Ọlọ́run. We don't want nobody to go to the popcorn area again. Don't go there for any popcorn at the moment. Please. We have a scheduled time to go and have the popcorn and candy floss as well. Please, ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run. Now.
Yeah, this is second to the last. What is the meaning of the word Quran in Arabic? What is the meaning of the word Quran in Arabic?
Read.
Correct. What does Allah's beautiful names Ar-Rahman means?
The most gracious.
Or the compassionate? Yeah, that's. What is the longest surah of the Quran? Yes, correct. Who was Maryam?
The wife of Muhammad.
Who was Maryam? Mary. Maryam or Mary?
The mother of Jesus. The mother of.
Yes. Two. What about two? Next. Two. How many surah are there in the Quran? 286. Second one. Which prophet received the Quran? Correct. One. What was the name of the mother? Yes, what was the name of the mother of Maryam? Yes, Anna or Anne. Second question, what is Ikama? Or can you say Ikama? What is Ikama? Ikama. 2. Maryam next. 1. Nura. How many commandments were given by Allah to Prophet Musa?
10.
Yes, second question. How many days did Allah create the heaven and the earth? 6. Correct. 4. Do all the surah of the Quran have titles?
No.
All the surah in the Quran, do they have titles?
Yeah.
Correct. How many prostrations are there in the Quran? How many prostrations are there? And you call Yasani. Mrs. Savage, how many prostrations are there in the Quran?
Wow. Yo. Zoom òṣìṣẹ́.
Ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ wo tó bá ṣe báyìí sí àti rí pé.
Can you recite the Shahada?
Ó mọ iṣẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ ẹṣẹ́ dáadáa.
Correct. In which prophet did Allah raise to himself? Yes, correct.
Yes, we are about to announce the result of today. And the winner is, if I call on the winner, just stand up. The winner is Surura. Winner, oh. Winner, oh. Winner. Lamata, you go win forever. Are you a winner? I am a winner. Thank you very much. Have a seat. And the second position is Miriam Wahab. Winner, oh. Winner, oh. Winner. Winner. Pata, you go winner. Winner. And the third position is Aisha Badmos. And Allah Akbar. Winner, oh. Winner. Winner, oh. Winner. Winner. Pata, you go win forever. And the fourth position is Umu Olaya. Allah Akbar. Winner, oh. Winner. Pata, you go win forever. Surura, are you a winner? I am. Yeah, Surura, oh yeah, are you a winner? I am a winner, oh. Yeah, Surura, come. We'll see how my checks here for my lady. The mom is not here. Winner. Thank you very much. You can have a seat. Winner. Yeah, Surura, yeah, my boss. Surura, we're behind. Winner, oh. Winner. He ain't so wait. I shall have a good winner. Allah Akbar. Owó tó ní Sunday mọ̀ lọ́mú wá. Ọlọ́run ṣe àlùbáríkà fún. Ẹ bá ṣe Surura kan. Bismillah inna atayna for Surura. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna atayna al-kawthar. Wasalli rabbika wanhar. Inna shani'aka wal abtar. Thank you very much, inshallah. Yes, can we say Allahu Akbar?
Allahu Akbar.
Now, the next program now is lecture. And I want a perfect silence. Is that alright? Are you going to give that to me? Children! I like to move it. Say that. I like to move it. Oh, you can move it. Can you move it? Now, inshallah, let's listen to the lecture. And the person who's going to give us the lecture is our lovely brother, our dear brother, Alhaji Imam Afar, Brother Rauf Noah, and he is the secretary of the Zona NASFAT, inshallah. Say Allah Akbar. Can you say Bosa for him? Bosa again. Greatest NASFAT. Inshallah.
Great NASFAT. Any great? No any.
Allah.
Almost great. Great NASFAT. Everybody say NASFAT. Say pages one. Say pages one. Say up NASFAT. Great NASFAT. Forever
protect against human.
So please, quiet. Ta ló pariwo ọmọ èṣù ló ẹ má bínú London làwà àwọn ọmọ yóò gbọ́dọ̀ nǹkan ẹ̀. Please be quiet, children. Is that okay? I'll hand over the mic to other brother Raouf. Bismillah.
فبعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Asitulillah.
ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أقول السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Actually, I'm just being given some kind of constraint now. And my fear is this constraint will not help us to achieve what I think we should achieve by this short sermon. Well, I wouldn't call it sermon because it's not my jurisdiction. And I really cannot lay claim for it. Because there are a lot of my affairs here. I won't start talking about that. And at the end of the day, stand to regret it. May Allah not allow us to regret anything. Actually, what we are here to do is children need party. At first, when I was told to, prepare a talk, I was thinking, what are we going to talk about? Who are the audience? When they first sent me the topic, I thought maybe I'm going to be speaking to the kids. But later on, they expanded it and said to me, the parents as well are my audience. That made me to go back and think again about what I'm going to talk about. But before we start, let me quickly ask a question. Our response to that question will make us to understand that if we need to go further by this, or maybe there's no need for it. There's this common saying that our children are future. We must have all heard about it. But do we all believe that that is true? I actually need a resounding yes. Because the rest, like I said, the response to that will tell if we need to continue in this line or maybe we should just shut it. And then there will be no need for any further deliberation on it. Do we all agree that our children are our future? Yes. Alhamdulillah. Then I think I can go ahead. If we all agree to that, the reason I actually did ask was we are actually familiar as well with the saying that in the Yoruba that we can only take the horse to the stream, we cannot force it to drink. The difference between us here and the horse is the fact that we are human. And assuming the hypothetical horse, the owner is able to ask him that when you get to the stream, are you going to drink? If the horse could have answered the owner from home that when I get to the stream, I'm not going to drink, I bet you there will be no need to go to the stream. So that's what I mean that if we are not, really believe in that saying, then there is no need for us to progress. So alhamdulillah, we all agree that is the case. Yeah. Now, they said we should look at nurturing Iman in our children. To nurture Iman in our children. The reason I asked the first one, it wasn't my saying really, that our children are our future. That is the theme of this year's Eid party. That is the theme. So now looking at nurturing Iman in our children, I think the best way to look at it is from the point of view of our children being our future. In other words, when we talk about nurturing Iman in our children, I want to see it as though it means that our children are our future. Then we think about making sure what is going to stand to be our future are full of Iman. Sallu ala Nabi Karim. Sallu ala Nabi Karim. Let's be quiet. So what I want to do by the end of this talk, we'll understand what is Iman, the characteristics of our children in today's environment, today's context, and what are our role as mother, and how are our children so much relate to our future. To now kind of put a stamp on the question of our children are actually our future. That's what I want to achieve by this talk. To start with, I want to talk about understanding Iman. Because when they say nurturing Iman in our children, and that's going to be the task for us parents. When I was first given this topic, I was actually thinking about something. Why am I qualified for this? I went to school, and the area I went to is finance. I'm not being asked to come and talk about finance. And I was like, I'm going to be talking to children. I was quite happy that, none of them is going to see what I'm saying is wrong. But at the end of it, they turned around and I said, I'm going to be speaking to parents. I was like, how am I qualified to talk about this? Then I was going to say no. Then I flashed back again, and I was like, perhaps After the lady and the other organizer will actually look at me and say, probably I have like 17 to 18 years experience in this field of raising children. Alhamdulillah. So I just think, okay, maybe I can say one or two things. And most of the things I will be saying, like I said, I'm not an NASFAT, that's why I will not call it a lecture. And I will not be dabbling so much in the Quran or Hadith. I'm going to be giving you example drawing from experience and what is happening around us. So if I see anything in the Quran, may Allah forgive us, and if anything is wrong in what I'm saying, that will be my error. And if anything is right, let's just give thanks to Allah. So understanding Iman, I want to say there are three complements of Iman. Three things that comes together to make Iman. The first of which is Aqidah. Aqidah is basically our Shahada. That is the fundamental structure upon which our belief is based. We must have an Aqidah before we can even talk about Iman. And in Islam, our Aqidah is Shahada. Shahadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. So when we have the Aqidah, and it's not just having it, listen, that we should have it with the true conviction about it. That is the basis of our belief that I said, and then it must be strong. That conviction must be so strong. Why I'm saying this is that we want to talk about nurturing Iman in our children, but what we want to do, we must understand what we are to nurture, then understand our children, then understand the environment in which we are to do that. At the end of the day, for our children being our future, being parents, we now need to understand as well what we stand to gain doing that. That is the approach I want to take. Now, Aqidah, like I said, is the basic fundamental structure of our Iman. That's where the belief system is based. That needs to be strong. That needs to be strong. Yeah. The second component of belief is Iman. Iman to what end? We talk about the articles of faith. And then when we talk about Iman, articles of faith, we are fond of saying, believe in God, believe in the angel, believe in the last day of judgment, believe in Qadar, and believe in 6 of them. We are very fast at that. I'm not going to be repeating that. But what did the Prophet say? When he was asked to talk about Iman, the Prophet said Iman has got 70 branches, 70 levels of Iman, the highest of which is believe in the oneness of God. That is the highest of the daraja of Iman, according to the Prophet, not my saying now. And he said the least of it is removing bad objects from the road. You will be wondering, how is that Iman? But we've heard several times as well. That's just the evidence to that Islam is the total submission to the will of Allah and is the total way of life. So if Iman could constitute removing bad objects from the road, does that mean good deed is Iman? That is my conclusion about that. So the Prophet said there are 70 levels of Iman. The first of which is oneness of Allah, and the last of which just removing something bad from the road. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yeah, the third one is Al-Ihsan. Now I talk about Aqidah, I talk about Iman, and the third one, which is the component belief, is Al-Ihsan. What is Ihsan? Ihsan is doing good, goodness. And then there's an hadith as well that's actually talking about this. I think that hadith, for those of us that are studying hadith, will be versed with that as well. When Angel Jibril was said to have come to the Prophet, I think Umar reported that hadith, and then he said, "Akhbirni anil Islam." Muhammad said to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Al-Islam an tashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu wa iqamus salah." He named the 5 pillars of Islam. That's the Prophet's response, not mine. Then he said, "Akhbirni anil Iman." Yeah. When he asked him to tell him about Iman, the Prophet named that 6 pillars of articles of faith, the 6 articles of faith. That was the response. But where I'm going is the last one. The third one, the Prophet, Jibril said to him, "Akhbirni anil ihsan." Tell me about goodness.
Asitullah, please, the noise is too much. We need to gain something from this lecture. Please. Ẹ̀yin bàbá, children, ẹ jẹ́ dákẹ́ torí Ọlọ́run. Bismillah.
The last one, which is what I want to use in that hadith, Jibril asked, "Akhbirni anil ihsan." Tell me about goodness. And then the Prophet responded, "Al-ihsan an ta'budallaha ka'annaka tarahu, fa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yaraka." The al-ihsan, goodness, is to worship Allah as though you are seeing Him. But indeed you are not seeing Him, believe that He sees you. That's not my. Get this. I want us to underline this. The question was, tell me about goodness. But the Prophet's response was, goodness is about worshiping Allah as though you see Him. Now believe that you don't see Him. You have to believe that He sees you. Should we say the Prophet was wrong in that response? And Jibril said, "Sadaqta," and left. So he never said you're wrong. He said, "You have said the truth," and he left. Now most of us will not be saying, how could somebody say, "Tell me about goodness," and he said, "Worship Allah as though you're seeing Him. If you don't see Him, He sees you." How is that goodness? Some point during my life, I cannot really be saying sometime in my life, because how long have I stayed on this earth? Maybe in the clock of life, perhaps I've actually just stayed like 30 seconds. So sometimes I've actually challenged myself at some point. When I look at the world and I see fighting, wars everywhere, I was wondering, and the basis of that is Muslim fighting Christian, Christian fighting Jews and all this. I was like, what is the essence of religion? Even Muslim fighting Muslim. Yeah, Muslim even fighting Muslim. So I was like asking, what is the essence of religion? Even though I have the knowledge of this as at that time, but the way I actually dealt with that within myself was not in reference to that at all. But later on, as I was growing up, I had a cause to look back on that and that gave me the meaning to it. The meaning I never got when I first, look into it. And what was the meaning? When the Prophet was asked, "Tell me about goodness," and he says, to worship Allah as though you are seeing Him. Indeed, you are not seeing Him, believe He sees you. Now, I now thought about being a till attendant in Tesco. Assuming you are working in Tesco, and then we all know that pilfering from the till is a misconduct. Gross misconduct, you're going to be, dismissed summarily. Now, let's say you cannot steal from the till. Yeah, I heard that. You cannot steal from the till when your manager is there. And indeed, when your manager is not there, believe the CCTV is there. How about that? Thinking about it that way will tell us that I now realize that, okay, my conclusion about the meaning of or the role of religion in this world is to create pious Muslims, pious believers, such that when you're doing something good and then there's been an idea that says al-halal bayin wal haram bayin, what is good and what is bad, they are just clear. Anything that you're doing that you want people to meet you with it, they are definitely good. There are instances where we do things, we just want to show off, we want people to, but your intention matters. You know the reason why you think I'm confident people meet me on this. You don't really say, yeah, I want them to meet me, but I wouldn't mind them meeting me on this. And there are instances you do things you don't want to be seen by that. That is bad. So when they say there is the CCTV, and that would be the same, that means that your manager is not even there, but you are not privileged. So now think of Allah as your CCTV. So, and the thing that will now take us to that point is Aqidah. Because we believe, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. When I look around me, I see the kids. If I'm alone in the room, I see the walls. Nobody is there. But the basis of my Aqidah says that Allah is there. So if Allah is there, then whatever I'm doing, Allah is watching me, and that is written against me. That will make me a good person. Better than I would have been without that belief. That's what it says. So those three components of Iman, we should note it. Do not forget, what we are going to is nurturing Iman in our children. And we've only dealt about understanding Iman. Again, maybe I should quickly share a joke as well. I remember when we were in Ife, there was this this lecturer. We were teaching us in philosophy.